All right. So we got the Twilight Zone energy. Let me tell you, we have the Twilight Zone energy. So I'm just going to read some cards. We definitely have Twilight Zone energy. So zone out. Oh, God's wrath and judgment. That's all I've been feeling. And stay in your Empress power, male or female. Stay grounded to the earth because this judgment that's happening is to do with the earth. Earth is going through physical, financial, mental, all of it. Messages through thoughts, words, dreams, and visions. Very important. We are going to go deeper into this reading. The wild card, I'm told to tell you about the untold story. Okay, the untold story is coming out in all different places. And I'm not doing anything, and there's no lights flickering, but this card is flickering. So, all kinds of wild stories are coming out. Now, as I told you, you can believe them or not. Do you believe that Jim Morrison is Rush Limbaugh? Do you believe Pastor Bob is Elvis? You know, we've got all kinds of wild stories coming out, don't we? So you're going to have to just take what you want with all that shit and leave the rest. That is one place I will say take what you want and leave the rest. Because as I talk about spiritual and people are on different assignments and timelines, I'm going to say the same thing with this untold story wildness coming out. So you're going to have to use your own intuition on all this stuff. I'm not here to say if something's true or false. Okay, we do have victory after a long battle. It looks like he's on his last stake to put in the ground. And you see the light. The light here is shining on the card and making it look like there's light at the end of the tunnel type of a mode there. My work is almost finished. I'm almost seizing my victory. And then this card here has a light, the light shining on it here. So it's more than one person going to prison, obviously. It's many, many, many of the minions that are left. And then I've got you're supposed to take a spiritual bath and cleanse your energy. Because again, it's flickering and there's nothing flickering here. It's just the energy. The energy is like the Twilight Zone right now. It really is. And all day yesterday. I don't know if a lot of you went to bed early, but I know I was in Astro early because it's just too much energy going on with what's going on in the world events that with on top of it with if you watch Chosen Chronicles with Seraphine, what's going on spiritually, galactically, it's just a lot. So if you're feeling like you're in the twilight zone and you're having a physical meltdown or a physical spiritual or physical meltdown, you might feel like him putting in that last stick, and that's okay. Okay, a couple things I had to tell you about. One is, do you remember the movie Bait Car? I don't know how many of you remember Bait Car, but Bait Car was a movie series where the cops would put a nice car out on the street running with the keys in it, and then they would wait to see who would take it. And then once the person took it, they'd shut down the car and the car would stop and the person would get arrested. Well, that's what they wanted me to tell you, because that's the kind of energy that's going on right now. Is they're putting the bait out in front of these people, and the people are taking it, and then they're busting them. The minions, that is, right? So I thought when I saw that movie, I'm like, well, nobody's going to go jump in that car and take it. Well, how naive was that back then? Because, yeah, they will take the bait and then the police will bust them. And that's what is going on right now. So if you've ever seen Bait Car, that's exactly the energy that's going on right now. Okay, so underneath God's wrath, we have the earth angel in reverse, meaning whoever's trying to mess with this special mission is getting arrested. They're going through God's judgment. So that can be spiritually and physically. Okay? So let God do his part, just like with the cops, let them do their job with the bait car. You don't have to go in and start screaming at the person, why'd you steal my car? Just let the cop handle it. Okay? So again, anybody that's trying to Earth Angel's special mission, not. And I told you, because they're trying to not get you into this divine love. So those three cards, I couldn't have done better at that if I tried. Okay? Your mission, what's your mission? Your mission is to end the movie and to get true love. Right? That's our mission. We want to go back to our original home or do our project here. But either way, we would love to have our divine love, wouldn't we? And finish our mission. So God's judgment is just coming down on that. So the bait car is an exact way of how they're doing it right now. And I was supposed to share that with you. Then we have the Empress. And she's guided toward her destined path and purpose, but people are messing with it. So just what I said, see, it's upside down. The castle's in her head. She wears the crown in the castle, but it's not transpiring. It's not transpiring because people are messing with it, and God's about had enough. The Empress is usually a black sheep outcast. And so are you. You're in your Empress. You're going through your karmic lessons. That's what's going on. The black sheep outcasts are going through their karmic lessons. They don't have their new home. They don't have their castle. They don't have their anything because everything's in upside down. See, there's too many people trying to steal the car. There's too many people trying to steal the marriage, the divine love, the earth angel special mission. So God's got to step in, and that's why we feel like it's the twilight zone, because God's in charge. And what's he doing? He's taking out the fake masculines, the low vibe people, male or female, the players. He's taking them out. It's in reverse. God wins. And I told you the movie's playing out. So this is the part where the bad guy gets caught in the bait car because the light worker wins. The light worker wins, and the ancestors are backing off because even they are letting God come in. So everybody's backing off and letting the police do their job. Okay? The bait car, right? Everybody's just backing off, staying in their house, letting the car sit out there idling, letting the bad guy jump in the car and think he's stealing a car, and then boom, God's wrath comes in. Okay, so you're an earth angel and you're supposed to focus on your mission. Talk to your spirit guides is all you can do right now. Just sit there and talk to your guides. Watch my videos. Know what the energy is. Yesterday, it felt like The total Twilight Zone. The Twilight Zone on TV seemed more real than the life I'm living. There's a lot of spiritual haters. They're ones that are going to jump in that bait car. And the angels are protecting you, but let God take care of them. Okay? And then what are they doing? They're working with others to create chaos and conflict. So now that we got the guy in the car, right? Now we got to take down his whole clan, because his whole clan is evil. It's not just him working alone. So they're not working alone, these minions. Why are we going through this? Because we're finishing the movie. We're releasing our karmic debt, and we're putting the ego to death. Anyone that's eased God out and let their ego take over, let them take over, 11:11 on the clock, we're putting an end to it. And that's what they'll look like. Okay, so you've got your messages through thoughts and visions. Only one card is under there, and that's exposure. See? Messages are coming through because the truth is coming to light. Perfect 2 cards there. Now, we're not going to go through all these, but we're just going to look underneath the wild card. You've got the 3 of Cups, which is celebration. Underneath spiritual gifts, you've got redirect your thoughts to positiveness. So you're in charge of your own thinking. You want to be negative and full of fear and get mingled in with this shit, or you want to just go cleanse and take a spiritual bath, talk to your ancestors and spirit guides, and let God be God. Under the victory card again, we have the 2 of Wands. That's where you have to be courageous and daring, yes, but you notice he's standing still with the crystal ball in his hand. So you don't usually fight with the crystal ball in your hand. You usually are redirecting your thoughts, talking to your ancestors, aren't you? It's all in your hands because it's wild. It's up to you. When this untold truth comes out, how are you going to handle it? Are you going to celebrate with the 3 of Cups? Okay, and then underneath prison is their spiritual disease is getting them. As I told you, they're going through an ego death. And their spiritual disease is getting them. It's putting them in a prison of their thinking. Why would anybody steal a car? Well, it's hard for us to even think that, some of us. But for some of you that can understand why somebody would steal a car, it's a spiritual disease. And victory will be yours is in reverse, but that's talking about them. That's saying they're not getting away with this. They're not going to get away with stealing that car. Now, you saw the light do that, and nothing's happening here on my end. It's happening on the camera, because it's not doing that on my end. So it's saying, yeah, their history. This is the end of the movie where Batman and Robin win. All right, and then we have the ego is getting smashed. They're fake. Anyone wearing a mask is going to 3D reality, 3D prison. It's an ego death. So 2 ego deaths. Your job is to take a spiritual cleanse and just know you're in the fucking Twilight Zone. We had a fake feminine and a fake masculine. So yeah, we know it's all of it. It's not just one. Many, many. So in the near future, what's our message? In the near future, you've got a toxic devil getting arrested. You've got health issues and spiritual sickness for them, not for you. I don't feel it's for you. This was in reverse, so if you stay connected and you meditate and you take that cleansing bath and you stay focused on you, you'll be fine. But it could be, yeah, it could be where you get sick because you're not taking care of your own spiritual sickness. And then these cards here fell. We've got fraudulent activity, that's the stealing of the car. There's the toxic friends. Their abundance will not be there. There's that feminine, she's been busted. What's this say? Black magic spell work was in reverse, sending negative energy, so they're getting arrested, they're getting busted. The whole reading is just coming back full circle. Fraudulent activity. The guy is jumping that bait car and all their friends. What did I say? We're taking them all down. See? And then look for your signs, okay? The last card out is look for the signs, the synchronicities, and the triple numbers. Like I said, 1111 was on the clock. 1622 was on there now. Google those numbers. See what they mean to you. Spend time in nature. I just love that, you know, because you got the fraudulent activities. They're getting all taken care of. Now, I told you that most of this is done already, but not everything's been done. Not everything's been done. We're not totally celebrating yet, are we? No, we're still here putting in that last fence, the 7 of Wands, right? We're on our way towards that 3 of Cups. And we've got to stay courageous and daring, the 2 of Wands. Okay, we've got 1707 on the clock. I hope this helped you. I am Miss Mystic. Thank you for listening.